hear me? Okay. Everybody in the back, you can hear me? Great. So good evening to everybody. My name is Jen Maxfield, and it's such a pleasure to be here with all of you tonight in this beautiful setting for such an impactful organization that's made a difference in New York City for almost 2 centuries. Yeah, we can applaud that. So after saying this organization has had such an impact over 2 centuries, it feels sort of paltry to mention that I've been reporting on New York and the surrounding communities for just 2 decades, most recently for NBC in New York. And so as a representative of the station and also a friend of the organization, I just want to say that it's really nice to be with all of you here tonight, and I thank you for your support for the organization as well. So give yourselves a round of applause. So look, we're all here for the same thing. We want to celebrate Rising Ground on their 190th Anniversary Gala. And I'm so honored to be your host tonight as we celebrate the 190 incredible years of the impact that Rising Ground has had on New York. We are all here to honor Rising Ground exactly 191 years to the date of the founding of the Leek and Watts Orphan House. This gala is the culmination of an entire year of events commemorating 190 years of hope and opportunity. As always, you'll be meeting some of the amazing people whose lives have been profoundly touched, changed, and improved by Rising Ground. We're also here not only to celebrate Rising Ground, but also to celebrate their work that continues, that can continue creating positive paths for New Yorkers for another 190 years. So without any further ado, I'd like to invite my co-host tonight, Chuck Nice, up to explain how you can help us meet our fundraising goals for this wonderful evening. I'll see you soon. Thank you.
Please keep your ovation going. Come on. Also, while I am here, I would like to know exactly who died. Thank you for that smattering of chortles. Hey guys, how are you? Thank you, sir, for saying that. That was. And how are the rest of you? All right. Guys, we're here for a magnanimous cause. We're here for something that is worthy. We're here to change the world. Okay, you're like, Chuck, that's hyperbole. What do you mean? No, it is not. We are here to change the world. I'm a stand-up comedian. That's the most serious thing I have said all year. Okay. So, of course, we know that the work of Rising Ground is invaluable. And I am here specifically to ask for money. Thank you. Yes. See how nice it is when you're honest about stuff? You know, because see, the reason why I'm honest is because I have a 19-year-old daughter, and she calls me from school. By the way, she's majoring in wasting my money. But she calls me, and she's like, Dad, how are you? How you been? Are things good? And then I go, how much do you need? And then she tells me, and then that's our relationship. But that's not the case here. The case here is that I'm here to ask you for money, and I can say that without compunction because I am asking for a worthy cause. Is that okay? Yeah. Is that okay? Yeah. And if you're wondering where they found me, you may recognize my work from the subway. Actually, I'm in the wrong room. You people don't take the subway. Who the hell am I kidding? I said, you might find me on the subway. But for those of you who do, you might remember me, where I get on and I go, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen of the subway. I mean, you know disrespect. All right. Wrong room. All right. Let's talk about what we're going to do here today, which is I'm going to walk you through this little app. You should have received a text. And this is the first time I ever said this to an audience in my life. Please take out your phones. I've never said that on stage. Please take out your phones. And you should have received a text, okay? And it's a text from Rising Ground. It says, help us meet our goals. It's very, very simple. And if you click on, it says open link, or it may just say open. Just open it up, okay? And what will happen is there's going to be 2 blue buttons, tabs, one of which will take you to just a series of donations from $25,000. Actually, just everyone hit that button and let's go home. You know what I mean? Like, you just hit the 25,000 and we're done. Okay, to 15,000, 10, 5. But if you hit the bottom button and you want to get a little bit more granular, you will see everything from $500 up to $25,000. Just to give you an idea of what we do. $25,000 helps immigrant children overcome trauma in a safe and nurturing environment. Let's keep in mind that Rising Ground actually helps more than 25,000 families, children, adults, women, and children in the New York vicinity every single year. So think about just one child that you might be able, what a difference that would make. That's $25,000. $15,000 is a year of kindergarten readiness, okay, for support for families. What does that mean? Anybody who knows anything about education knows that early childhood education is the most important thing. Early childhood education is the most important thing to determine whether or not you will find success in your academic career. Take it from someone who is the product of the Philadelphia public school system, which is why I do comedy now. It's tragic. It's a joke, people. It's okay. Let's go to $10,000. So important. When you talk about helping families, when you talk about giving people the opportunity to help themselves, that is what this is about. And that's about training, and that is about job training support for adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Think of how you feel about your own independence. Think how you feel on a daily basis. Or do you ever think about that? Your own independence, how important it is, how your own agency affects you? Well, that is what you might be able to do for one person just through a gift of $15,000, okay? I'm not sure if I'm being well received. I'm starting to sweat like Mike Tyson at a spelling bee. I'm not sure what's happening right now, okay? $10,000 supports job training for adults. I'm sorry, we did that. $5,000, therapeutic and life supports for survivors of intimate partner violence. We know what that is, domestic violence. We know exactly what a problem that has become, especially since the pandemic. It was exacerbated by the pandemic. It was made much, much worse. It is far more important that it be addressed now more than ever. $5,000 gives you an opportunity to actually impose yourself in a very positive way for something that means a great deal to someone whose life can be changed. So that's $5,000. And I'm sure that there's so many of you here that could do that. That's nothing. Come on. Seriously? You can, look at that. I just got a text like, Chuck, really? Just $5,000? That's crazy. Okay. All right, $2,500. I'm not supposed to go through all these, but I'm doing it anyway, just because I want you to know that there are so many different levels where you can give and make a difference. And I really do believe in this organization with 190 years of service to the people of this greater community. I just think that it is phenomenal that we are here this evening and that we're able to do this. I am truly excited. I know. This is not an act. I'm sorry, I might sound a little weird. I just got some Invisaligns because I'm very vain. No. I did. My teeth are shifting. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about. I don't know what's happening right now. Okay. $1,000, this is where the rubber meets the road, people. Okay? Maybe you're not a $25,000 person. Okay? But this is where the rubber meets the road. $1,000. Okay? Might be a sacrifice for some. might be nothing to others, but here's what got me. Food and diapers, okay, to families in need. Anybody here with a child knows how much diapers cost and how fast they go through them, which is why I just left my child on the toilet. Thank you, sir. Thank you. You got in there at the last minute. They laughed, but they were like, I think that's a poop joke. And then you just got in there at the end, and you're like, I don't give a damn, it's funny. But listen, when I say this is where the rubber meets the road, this is where we talk about everyday life conditions that are being met by this organization. This is what I'm talking about. The things that we feel are so pedestrian in life are the things that we take for granted that are so very precious to other people. And here's an opportunity for us to say, you know what, it is precious, and you know what, I am going to be a part of helping in that way. $1,000, food and diapers, you can't get any more basic than that, okay? And then finally, I'm sorry, like I said, I'm not supposed to do all this, but I'm doing it anyway. There's, what is $500? Oh, I love it, technology for students in our special education schools, which is fantastic. It's an aggregate. Listen, all the money, of course, you know, these different pots, they all kind of go into different things. But it's wonderful to know that these are all the places where our money is going. And it's wonderful to know that there's a proven track record that this organization can point to, everything from the Biondi School right on down to its 190-year track record. Everything that has already been done, you can look at and say, you know what, I'm doing something good here. So those are all the giving levels. And we are gathered here, I think, somewhat fortuitously, under the sight of celestial beings, that I might exhort you to find your better angels and become a force of good, and perhaps to do even, dare I say, God's work. And if you are not doing God's work, I'm not going to say the rest of that. That might offend some people. However, I know that we are here to do God's work, and I'm sure that you will participate. So please, take your phones, make a donation, and here's the great thing. I hope you enjoyed what I just did, because I'm coming back, and I'm serious. I'm coming back. And the reason I'm coming back is, one, because I'm very dedicated, and two, because I told Alan if I didn't make the mark that I would make up the difference. Thank you, guys. I'll be back to let you know how we're doing, okay? All right.
So if you haven't figured it out by now, I'm not nearly as funny as Chuck, but that's not really my role here tonight. All right, but part of my role is to help those of you who are not as familiar with Rising Ground to learn something new about the organization, and even for those of you who are very familiar with Rising Ground to learn something that perhaps you didn't know before, all in the service of trying to raise more money to help more people, because as Chuck was just telling us, that's what this whole night is about. So in order to further that and tell you more about the organization, I do want to introduce the leader of Rising Ground, and we do look forward to hearing updates from Chuck throughout the evening, but we do want to turn to the mission of the organization, and I have the distinct honor of introducing the leaders of the organization that's had such a remarkable impact on the lives of thousands, tens of thousands of New Yorkers. So I spoke before about how March 7th, 1831 is a very significant date in the history of Rising Ground, with the founding of the orphanage that got everything started. But March 7th has other meaning as well, and I told him I wouldn't mention it, but I'm going to do it anyway, because when I introduced the Chief Executive Officer, Alan Mucatel, I also should mention to all of you that it is his birthday today. So, wishing you a happy birthday, Alan. Let's bring you on up.
She said, sorry, not sorry. Anyway, I couldn't think of a better way to spend my birthday than to be here with you this evening. Good evening, everybody. I am just thrilled to be back and to be here with you all. While I'm always proud and humbled to be among the supporters of Rising Ground, especially at our annual gala, our single largest and most prominent event, tonight elicits an even more intense feeling. In part because I think, like a lot of you, this evening is a hopeful indication that we may be emerging from the trauma of COVID-19. And because we commemorate 190 years of service at an organization that has played a critical role in the lives of thousands of neighbors who need assistance. I have more than once visited the grave of our founder, John Watts. I think there's a photo. Oh, there he is. It's located at Trinity Church at the corner of Broadway and Wall Street. I've wondered what it must have been like to be this person of such prominence in New York City in 1831. I've also given a lot of thought to what life must have been like for those who were less fortunate at a time when there was no meaningful social safety net. Medical care was rudimentary, slavery still existed, and there was no such thing as compulsory education. I have thought about the subsequent leaders of the orphanage and wondered what they would think of this guy who is standing here tonight. I don't know what to think about this guy either, but I wonder what they would think about that, and I wonder what they think about the work that we do, and I wonder what they would think about a gala just like this. I'd like to believe that there is a commonality of purpose and a consistent belief in the inherent dignity and worth of all people that runs from them through to us. I'd like to think that our approach to service and the interventions that we use now are far more sophisticated, appropriate, and effective. I firmly believe that at Rising Ground, as our name implies, we help people to move upward and forward in their lives by providing them with a foundation from which to grow. We do this very well, we do this often, and we do it in many, many different ways. Through the cumulative impact of our work, we help communities to be stronger and lives to be better. You see this with Carolina, an undocumented mother of 3 who has survived years of physical and mental abuse. She obtained an order of protection against her husband, received public assistance and an apartment in her own name outside of his control. We have provided the trauma-informed therapeutic interventions that she and her children have needed. You see it with Elias, 19-year-old youth in foster care, who, having graduated this past June, is now attending a postgraduate gap year basketball program to improve his chances of being recruited for a sports scholarship at the college level. We see it in a preschooler named Adir, who had very poor fine motor and speech skills, who is now able to do puzzles, trace lines, stock blocks, follow directions with just a few prompts, and is expanding his vocabulary. And you see it with 16-year-old Elmer, who traveled on his own from Guatemala to be reunited with his father, who was living here in the United States. The dad's name is Alfredo. We helped Dad to be freed from an exploitive work situation, and we got Elmer the quality treatment for his scoliosis for the very first time, alleviating his pain. And you will see the impact of Rising Ground's work with Venus and the Anthony family, who you're going to meet later this evening. Rising Ground has been helping to make positive change possible in the lives of New Yorkers for literally decades. This has been even more inspiringly true through the pandemic, as we provided unwavering support to people who have needed even more help. Tonight, we celebrate not just 190 years of service, perseverance, and evolution. We look to the future for this organization and how to encourage its capacity to help our neighbors who are facing a myriad of challenges, including family instability, mental health problems, disability, poor quality education, lack of support for basic needs, and more. I am both proud of and made stronger by the support of donors and friends. Thank you for being with us here tonight and with us always. This 190th anniversary is also a celebration of countless New Yorkers like you who have put their weight and resources behind this organization and its life-affirming work. Thank you so very, very much. It's now my pleasure to ask Matt Del Percio, the chairman of our board, to come and say a few words.
I wanted to speak first, but Alan played the birthday card, so having to follow that is a tough act. But good evening, friends, families, and supporters. I'm excited and honored to be here with you tonight, celebrating the 190th year that Rising Ground has been helping children's, families, and adults in New York rise above adversity. On behalf of Rising Ground and its board of directors, thank you for being here tonight. And thank you for being here for the people that we support. I want to start by thanking a few important supporters and contributors to the initial and ongoing success of Rising Ground. I'd like to start by thanking Trinity Church Wall Street. If this blinding light wasn't in my eyes, I would try to point out where some of those folks are. But Trinity has been our partner during our 190th anniversary year, as well as our partner for the past 190 years. You may not know, but Trinity was and remains an original partner in the creation of Leek and Watts Orphan House, which was opened on March 7th, 1831, thus becoming one of the earliest providers of child welfare services in New York City. Please join me in thanking Trinity Church for all their support over the years. I next would like to thank Mutual America and John Greed, its chairman, president, and chief executive officer, for your support, for your organization's support during this 190th anniversary celebration. John, you and your organization have been wonderful ongoing supporters of Rising Ground, as well as our staff, and we look forward to our partnership continuing. Please thank me in joining John and Mutual of America. And last, but most importantly, I'd like to thank the staff and the leadership of Rising Ground for their dedication over the last 2 years in keeping Rising Ground running and providing services to New Yorkers in need, as well as for 190 years of selfless service that they have provided to the most vulnerable New Yorkers. We are deeply grateful to them for their unwavering commitment and support. Please join me in thanking Rising Ground staff, both present and past. All right, would everyone please stand since we're doing this? Let's do this. Thank you. Over the past year, we've had an amazing series of events and discussions to celebrate the long history of Rising Ground's role in positively impacting the lives of New Yorkers. We started out 1 year ago tonight with our 190th anniversary kickoff event. We had 3 amazing discussions over the year in conjunction with Trinity Church Wall Street. And finally, in September at our fall benefit, we premiered a special video celebrating over 190 years of creating paths to positive change to New Yorkers. And now we're here tonight. We're so happy to have you here closing out our 190th anniversary year celebration. Please know that your support tonight and throughout the year for the work that Rising Ground does is positively impacting the lives of children's families and adults here in New York. You are all making a difference. We are all making a difference. We all can continue to make a difference. Please continue to support us and help us make a difference in the lives of New Yorkers for another 190 years. Thank you. Please welcome Jen back to the stage to continue tonight's celebration.
So it's pretty amazing when you think about 190 years. I mean, how many institutions in the city of New York can say they've been helping people for 190 years? I mean, just to put this into context, when this organization got started, the NYPD was still 10 years away from being founded. The Fulton Fish Market, interestingly, was actually founded 10 years before this, but it's been a very, very long time. And that legacy of service can be illustrated in almost 2 centuries of people who have been helped by Rising Ground. And so tonight, we are going to introduce you to a woman who is really part of the history of Rising Ground. Take a look at the video we're about to show you about Adele's story.
The story of Rising Ground is the story of New York, and the story of New York is ours. Adele Ross, a longtime resident of Brooklyn, has vivid memories of her time at Leek & Watts.
I am 97 years old, and the thought of Leek & Watts brings back many memories. Due to domestic violence, the Ross family was falling apart. It was 1928-29. Mom looked for help and found it in Leek & Watts. They took the 2 boys and sent them to Yonkers at a foster home, and then on to Amityville, Long Island. They stayed together, and Mom was able to visit them from time to time. I was born with a deformed right leg. I believe it was the Edwin Gould Foundation that sent me to a hospital in Brooklyn, where I received a bone transplant. This was in 1928. I was 4 or 5, and I remember it well. I wore a brace for 2 to 3 years, and when the brace was removed, all signs of deformity were gone. Mom put up with so much abuse and violence. This was the turnaround for her and the Ross family. So thank you from the late Ross family and my mom for saving our family.
What a tremendous testimony from Adele, and what a tremendous service by Rising Ground, breaking ground in 1928 by serving people, and still breaking ground today. I don't know if you know this, but in 1928, things weren't so great. And and so to have someone step in and say, hey, we'd like to help you with this medical malady, it was revolutionary. We can't even conceive of it. And we're doing the same thing today by allowing, the ideal of America to be represented in one single organization as people come here and are not only helped but inspired by this great organization. And so why am I back? Because I told you I was going to be back. And the reason I'm back is because I just want to let you know just a couple of things. One, these stories, they're just ubiquitous when it comes to this organization. That's number one. Number two, I'd like you to know that if you would like to give outside of the app, like you maybe have an institution or something that you would like to give, maybe more than $25,000, you can find somebody with this boutonniere that I'm wearing, and they're more than happy to give you the proper information that you can fill out if that is okay. All right? I just wanted to let you guys know that. Is that person here? Are you? Okay, that was a joke, but that's okay. In addition to that, I would like your permission to take off my tie now. Is that okay? Is that all right? Okay, good. That's great, because quite frankly, I have to tell you, this hideous fashion ensemble that I am wearing is brought to you courtesy of the pandemic and the fact that I have gained more weight than I would care to admit. Quite frankly, everything that I'm wearing was pieced together by a very famous designer named Yo That Still Fits. So, thank you. So I really do appreciate you indulging me. I feel very ugly right now. I can't believe I gained all this weight. I'm wearing combat boots because my shoes didn't fit. If you give money, just give because you pity me. I don't even care. And right now, I don't know where we are. I think we're going to go to dinner. I'm not sure. I'm going to bring Jen back here. But thank you for letting me take off my tie. Please check your app. Come on, guys, we can do this.
Okay, so we are going to take a break now. Chuck was right. We're going to take a break for dinner, and we hope that everyone enjoys catching up with everyone at their table. I did want to draw your attention to one thing. These beautiful centerpieces that you're all enjoying were crafted by the migrant youth in our Passage of Hope program. Now, as Chuck mentioned, if you need help from the gala team, they're going to be moving around the room. Just look for the boutonnieres, though I will note that Chuck is wearing one of those boutonnieres, so if you try to donate money to him, he may use it for a new suit. All right. Enjoy your dinner. We'll be back in 20 minutes. Thanks.
The story of Rising Ground is the story of New York, and the story of New York is ours.
Carolyn Page Henry came to Leek and Watts in 1966, leaving an abusive past behind. Living in Gould Cottage on the Yonkers campus, she began to excel and earned a full scholarship to Howard University and became a dedicated teacher for 37 years.
It was my extended family at Leek and Watts who took a young, angry, insecure girl and helped to transform her into a laser-focused, confident, respectful young woman ready to enter the real world. They envisioned a bigger dream for me than I could have possibly dared to dream for myself. For them, I am now and will always be eternally grateful.
Hi, my name is Venus, and like Caroline Henry, I'm a foster child. I am now in college, striving to be the best that I can be and accomplishing my associate's degree. I'm at the highest point in my life with the help of Rising Ground. I would not have made it this far without the people who have helped me to be the best that I can be and supported me to go achieve my goals. I'd like to acknowledge a few people who have helped me and my experience throughout my entirety of being in foster care. The first person I'd like to thank is Zariana Vitti, who was my caseworker at the time and is now a supervisor. She is one of the best people that I've met in the agency. She helped me through everything I needed and gave me the support to become a better person. I'd also like to thank Erica Dooms. She helped me get into internships that would help me accomplish my goal for nursing. I'd also like to thank Antonio. He was my coach. He helped me a lot with emotional problems, helped me get into internships, apply for colleges, etc. Another person I would like to thank is Paige. I worked with her for a very short time, but she made a huge impact in my future. She helped me realize what it is to work in an actual office. She helped me realize that I have a voice no matter where I am. And lastly, I'd like to thank the foster parents that I have had for the past 3+ years. They have treated me with respect. They treated me like I was their own and made me feel a part of their families. So I'm very grateful for the experience that I've had with these foster families. There are so many more who have helped me throughout my entirety of being in foster care. So if you have helped Rising Ground in any way, then you have helped me. So thank you very much.
I just want to thank Venus for such a beautiful speech. I had a chance to connect with Venus and her foster mom before the event began tonight. And Venus told you a little bit about herself, but I just want to acknowledge that she's in her first year of college and she's studying to be a nurse and she wants to help children. So let's give her one more round of applause. So moving on to our next order of business, when we began to plan for our 190th anniversary here at Rising Ground, we wanted to honor a company and an individual who, like the organization itself, had a long history of making significant contributions to charities, including contributing to Rising Ground's work. And we were so honored when Mutual of America and its president, John Greed, were willing to be our partner in celebrating this 190th anniversary. For more than 75 years, Mutual has helped New Yorkers and Americans achieve their life goals. A sense of social responsibility has distinguished Mutual of America since its founding as a provider of retirement plan services for employees in not-for-profit organizations. For their dedicated support over the past 2 years and their impressive contribution to our region and the nation, Rising Ground presents the 190th Anniversary Award to Mutual of America and its chairman, president, and chief executive officer, John Greed.
Thank you. It's so humbling, and it's a privilege and an honor to be your honoree after 190 years of making lives better in New York City. I am so honored and privileged. But this journey started 2 years ago, when I met Alan on a virtual meeting, and he asked me if I would agree to be the honoree. And when I learned about your organization and the similarities, which I'm going to talk about, to Mutual of America, I said, there's no way that I can't not do it. Right? And we're in the middle of a pandemic, like you're planning out. My team knows that I thought it was going to last like 3 months. I wasn't quite right on that, but I thought it was only going to last 3 months. But here we are. And so I agreed to the date, and the 2 weeks leading up to our annual board meeting are pretty hectic. And we always have our annual board meeting the first week in March. So I said, perfect. Be the Monday after, all that's done. There's no stress, there's no, all's good. And I brought 2 new board members on to our board. And in order to accommodate their schedules, I had changed the date of our board meeting. We haven't had a in-person board meeting since the last one was March of 2020. So I'm like, yeah, no problem, I'll switch it. We go to March 7th. And I come up with this fantastic idea. I'm I'm like, we haven't had a meeting. Board's anxious. We got to get back together. Mutual America, we're like a people company, right? We do our best work collaborating in person. So I'm like, yeah, we got to get the board back together. And here's a great idea. We have a wonderful, wonderful telecommunication and 800 line facility down in Boca. Why don't we haven't had a meeting, a board meeting in Florida in March in quite a while. Let's have the next one in Boca as well. And they're like, oh my God, we love it, John, that's perfect. Enter Tyrone Galat. And Tyre says, John, you already committed to Alan that you're going to be their honoree at their gala, and it's in New York City, and it's in person, it's not virtual. I'm like, oh shit. You know something? I switched it. I switched our meeting. We weren't sure if we were going to have that meeting in Florida, whether it was going to be an in-person meeting or if it was going to be a virtual meeting. But I told my senior leadership team, we're going to do it from Florida, and if we can have the board there, great. But, we switched it. And because when you're in the retirement savings and investment business like we are, it's all about promises to keep. That's what Mutual America is all about. I'm here. I wish I could partake and celebrate a little bit more with all of you tonight, but I've been through a really stressful day today. And there's more to come. There's more to come tomorrow. But, I'm so honored and proud to be here. We have a great partnership with your organization. And the reason is simple. Your heritage is very similar to Mutual America. Now, for those of you in the room that don't know who Mutual America is, my salespeople are going to like this, but we are the #1 retirement savings and investment firm in the country. We are experts at it. And you know what we do? We improve retirement outcomes for everyone. That's what we do, and we've been doing it for 76 years very successfully. That's who we are. It's what we do day in and day out. And the similarities in terms of our heritage, 76 years ago, Mutual of America was formed with a $10,000 grant from the United Way. And simply because those of you, all of you who work in nonprofit social sector were not covered by Social Security. And there was a gap in taking care of retirement for those in the nonprofit social sector. Today, Mutual America, I'm proud to say, is 30 billion, that's with a B, 30 billion strong. 30 billion strong. And as I often do, I was working the crowd during the cocktail hour, and I'm going to challenge my marketing sales leadership. I told that story or pieces of that story. I'm so proud and honored to be the leader of this great organization. And I gave away more cards than I think my sales team probably did. So I apologize in advance for that, okay? But one of the great things about Mutual of America is we want to do well. Like every company, we want to do well. But, and actually, as stressed out as I am that this is our board meeting week, we had an unbelievable 2021 comeback off of 2020, the pandemic year. And I'm so proud and grateful of all of our employees for all of the efforts that they put forward to do that. But as much as we are a company that wants to do well, we're a company that wants to do good. And because of our heritage, we focus a lot on caring for our employees, caring for our clients, giving back, and making a difference in the local communities that we serve all around the country. And I am just so humbled and honored to accept this. I can't accept this on behalf of myself, but I will accept this on behalf of the 1,050 Mutual of America employees all around the country that care about making a difference. When I first was appointed as I've been with the company 25 years, and when I was appointed as the president, I said to the board, we may never be the largest retirement savings and investment firm in this country. But I guarantee you one thing, we will always be the best. And we will never lose focus of our culture, of our heritage, about caring and making a difference, a meaningful difference in society. And I salute Rising Ground because you've done it for 190 years. And I will tell you one thing, we're only 76 years in. I won't be standing here at 190. But, well, I'm not sure if any of my leadership team will be either. But someone from Mutual of America will be, just like your organization. And you want to know why? Because you are having tremendous impact. And that's what you do, and that's what we do. Thank you. I couldn't be more honored. Thank you.
Congratulations, John, and thank you so much for that beautiful speech. So, as part of my role as being a reporter and a journalist for NBC in New York, we always try to interview people at the center of news stories. Yes, we talk to the officials, but most importantly for us, we want to talk to the eyewitness, the person who's actually experienced whatever the news event is that we're reporting on. So that leads me to our next guest, Gloria Anthony. And it's my pleasure to introduce Gloria to you tonight. I had a chance to catch up with Gloria and her daughter Lonnie during the cocktail hour, and I have 3 children, and Gloria's a mom as well, and we were talking about how wonderful it is for Gloria to know that her daughter, who has an intellectual and developmental disability, her daughter needs extra help, and how wonderful it is for Gloria to be able to look to Rising Ground, and for Rising Ground to be able to create that place for Lonnie where Gloria knows that her daughter is safe. And from one mom to another, I know how much that must mean to you. So without any further introduction, let's all give a warm welcome to Gloria Anthony.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. It's an honor and pleasure being here tonight. My name is Gloria Anthony, and I reside in Atlanta, Georgia. My daughter, Lani, she stayed Not trying to be emotional, but she far away from me. And I'm so grateful that my daughter, even though she's not with me, she's being taken care of. Sorry. Okay. It's a pleasure and honor to be here tonight, celebrating with all of you the mission and vision of Rising Ground. Rising Ground gave me the opportunity, while my daughter is in the facility, to work, to take care her Lani's siblings, to have a life, to have the opportunity to enjoy. But there's not enough joining my life without my daughter on my side. As a parent and legal guardian of my wonderful Lani, I am going to tell all of you my experience with Rising Ground. Lani been with Rising Ground for at least 10 years. Those mothers that are here and you got kids, you know how hard it is to be away from your kids. My daughter means a lot to me. And my daughter needed extra help, and that's the only reason why my daughter, she is in Rising Ground. My daughter, she's a nonverbal. She cannot advocate for herself. She's 28 years old, but I had a wonderful team in Rising Ground that take care of my daughter. Mr. Floyd, he's the director of the program of AD. I call him every single day, and I text him when I cannot get in touch with my daughter, because I know, there's another girls in the house living with my daughter too, so sometimes the phone get kind of busy, so I have to call Mr. Floyd, I know he might be, okay, here she is again, calling me every day. But anyway, he's very, so thankful that for his kindness and for his patience to listen to me, and to also, to make sure, that my request to talk to my daughter, is, ladies and gentlemen, I speak Spanish. I'm trying my best over here, okay? Thank you. Okay, so like I said before, Mr. Floyd, always, responding my emails and my telephone calls. Why I appreciate that a lot for him. And Mr. Leone, he's the manager of the house. He always, pleasing me when I requested something for my daughter. For example, I say, Mr. Leone, Lani's birthday coming up. I want my daughter to have the best party ever. So, and he'll go and he's, okay, it's how you want the party. I say, I want it like this, I want it like that. I speak Spanish, so I want Dominican cake, so I can enjoy that. And we go from Atlanta, we bring Lani's sisters, and we have, wonderful, party. So the 2020 year, it was a hard year for me, like for everybody, because the pandemic hit and I was unable to see my daughter like I wanted to. It was really hard for me, not to come to New York and visit my daughter. But, thank God for Rising Ground. Mr. Leone, so I requested, to please, I need an iPhone for my daughter so I can FaceTime her, so I can see her every single day and talk to her every single day. So like that I can have, a peace of mind, and I know that my daughter is, she's doing fine, and she's great. So every time I see her face, I feel so happy. That gives me a peace that my daughter, is doing, good, that she's being, safe, and also I had the staff, Miss Lorraine over there, she's sitting with my daughter. She's a wonderful lady. She always, taking care of the ladies in the house, and I appreciate Miss Charlene, Miss Grace, Miss Sharon. I appreciate all of them. When my daughter needs some clothing, they go and shop. She looking so beautiful because, the ladies, they went and they shop for her. I really thank you. I really thank you so much. Yes. Rising Ground is the best for family in need like me. My daughter, she's know how to be a little independent, and I love that, when my daughter started, Rising Ground, she was kind of, like, how can I say, like, Rising Ground helped me, so she can be, the girl that she is right now. She's very quiet, she's very, she know how to follow prompts, and I'm very happy for that. And also, okay, I haven't finished. It's okay? Okay, all right. So, okay. So I appreciate, also, Mucatel Brown. Mucatel Brown, she's also calling me and let me know, and give me details about my daughter. Since I live far away from her, she always, sometimes, I receive unexpected call, and when I see the phone, my daughter started jumping, and I say, thank you, God, they're calling me, I can see my daughter, and I'm very grateful, for Rising Ground. Rising Ground, thank you so much for giving my daughter, the opportunity to have, I would say, a better life. Because if it wasn't for Rising Ground, I would not know, how my life would be right now. And because Rising Ground is helping me, so, I can say, okay, my daughter is being taken care of, so in the meantime, I can go ahead and do what I have to do so I can, work and support Lonnie's sibling. Thank you for all the support that all of you do. Thank you, not only for my daughter, also help other families in need. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for everything.
Gloria, thank you so much for that moving tribute to Rising Ground and to your daughter. I just want, before Chuck comes back up to give us an update on the fundraising, just consider the fact that as beautiful and moving and as emotional as everything we just heard from Gloria, you can multiply that by 25,000 because that is the number of people that Rising Ground is helping. So when you're considering how you might be able to help tonight, consider Gloria's story and then how many other people this organization is currently helping and how many tens of thousands more they've helped over their 190 years. So thank you again, all of you, for your generosity and your interest in being here tonight. And without any further introduction, here's my co-host, Chuck.
Thank you, Jen. And moving is not the word for that testimony. That was just amazing. Before we go any further, though, I would like to just take a second and go back to John's comments because I have decided that these are words that I want to say in my life just once. I can't say that we're the biggest retirement and financial services company. But I will say we're the best. I am going to say those words one day in my life, and they're going to mean something. They're going to mean something. Like, John, you said those words, and I was like, damn it. He made that sound. I felt like I was on a football field. I was like, are we talking about financial services? Why do I want the coach to put me in the game right now? What is happening? Well done, sir. Well done. All right, guys, I told you I was going to be back, and I'm back again. Oh, my God, I feel like I'm doing my own little mini telethon inside this show. Most of you here look too young to even know what the Jerry Lewis Telethon is. But there used to be a thing called the Jerry Lewis Telethon, and it came on every, Labor Day. And Jerry Lewis would come on, and he would just be like, I'm not going to sleep for a week until you give me this much money. And I kind of feel like I'm doing that right now, So let me just say this. Lady, anyway. Thank you to 4 people who know who Jerry Lewis is. 4 people were like, bro, I know what you're talking about. And the photographer who was just like, thank you. However, we are inching our way towards our goal. We are not there yet, people. And I told you, we had a really big lift to make tonight, but we're not there. And I really want us to get there before the end of the night. So remember, you can still go to your phones. You can still find somebody with a rose on their shoulder and, a lapel. And you can, let's make this happen. So no matter what it is, please get in here and do something. But before we go any further, here's how well we are doing. Just to give you a little hint, they gave me a list of people, just cards to read, of people who have helped in extremely generous ways. Jennifer, okay. Iavalitas. No, is it? Did I say it right? Iavalitas? Oh. Jennifer, thank you for your gift, but I'm more proud of myself for getting your name right. Extremely generous gift for, okay, here we go. Anish Shah, thank you for Anish Shah, very generous gift from Anish. Jeffrey Donaldson. Okay. Thank you. Joshua Naren, who gave very generously. Okay, is it Naren? No, it's Naren. Okay. All right, whatever. Joshua probably left. No one's saying anything. Amy and Jonathan Nepper. Hey, Amy and Jonathan! Thank you guys for your gift. It's very cool. You know what I just realized? I'm getting old and I probably need reading glasses because I keep putting these cards all the way out here. Jim Florak. Jim Florak, thank you very much, Jim. Thank you. Sean Hatcher. Thank you, Sean, wherever you... Hey, Sean's at this... Oh, fantastic. You guys are lovely, and I mean this. Matthew O'Leary and Glennis Porter. Glennis and Matthew. I don't know where you are, but... Hey, Glennis and Matthew, how are you? All right. Joseph Newhouse? Joseph Newhouse. Joseph... Did I say your name right, Joseph? Where are you? Where's Joseph Newhouse? Is there? Okay, Joseph's in the bathroom. Sorry, guys. Vincent Pacilo or Pachilo. Pachilo, Vincent. Is that you, Vincent? God bless you, Vincent. Thank you. That's not really Vincent. Are you guys messing with me? I'm so gullible. I'm just so gullible. I'll believe anything, by the way. Okay, guys. So all I'm saying is dessert is being served right now. Enjoy what is sweet in front of you and make life sweet for someone who is blessed by rising ground. That's all I have to say, okay?
And we do have something sweet to go along with your dessert. We know you'll enjoy this musical interlude by Soara-Joye Ross. Soara-Joye Ross is an award-winning actress, singer, and dancer, and she's known for her artistry all over the world. Currently in her third Broadway show, she's performed at Carnegie Hall, Lincoln Center, off-Broadway and regional theaters, and in TV and film. The New York Times garnered her the marvelous Soara-Joye Ross in her award-winning performance of Carmen Jones in 2018. Ms. Ross is here tonight with accompanist Jesse Kissel to perform an exclusive concert just for us. So please sit back, enjoy your dessert, and enjoy From Broadway to the World, starring Soara-Joye Ross.
Good evening. That's all I get? Hello? I'm just playing. Brothers and sisters, we are here tonight because we are blessed. Can I get an amen? Amen. Thank you. And we choose to be a blessing to others. Can I get another amen? Amen? That's right. That's why we're all here. So, to honor this wonderful organization and everybody that is working hard to make the world a better place, I want each and every one of you to turn to your neighbor, at least two of them, and say, bless you, brother. Bless you, sister. Bless you, brother. Thank you. Bless you, brother. Thank you. Wasn't that fun? Remember why we are all here, why we've all been put on this earth. We have not been put on this earth for ourselves. We have been put on this earth to serve others. So, let me serve you. Do you hear that playing? Do you know who's playing? Why, it's Gabriel, Gabriel playing, Gabriel, Gabriel saying, will you be ready to go when I blow my horn? Oh, blow, Gabriel, blow. Come on and blow, Gabriel, blow. I've been a sinner, I've been a scam, but now I'm willing to trim my lamb. So blow, Gabriel, blow. Oh, I was low, Gabriel, low. Mighty low, Gabriel, low. I bowed and I've seen the light. I'm good by day and I'm good by night. So blow, Gabriel, blow. Once I was headed for hell. Once I was headed for hell. But when I got to Satan's door, I heard you blowing on your horn once more. So I said, Satan, farewell. And now I'm all ready to fly. Yes, to fly higher and higher and higher. 'Cause I've gone through brimstone and I've been through the fire. And I've purged my soul and my heart too. So climb up the mountaintop and start to blow, Gabriel, blow. Come on and blow, Gabriel, blow. I want to join your happy band and play all day in the promised land. So blow, Gabriel, blow. Thank you. Don't you just love New York City? It's so fancy. The wonders of the world are said to stop at 7, But truth to tell, my figures don't agree. I number them at 8, with one so close to heaven. The others pale, their magic stale. Just take a look and see. Step right up to Treasure Isle. Every inch of it a sky-high mile, fairy tale land, only in New York. Hey, castle builder, want the moon and nothing less. Every inch of it a sky-high mile. I know firsthand, only in New York. Each day it's free admission to those who dream. You set your sights all the way upstream. Off you go, for you know that cream will rise. Make that wish. You better seek that thrill, honey. Come and get it, 'cause you always will. Strike up the band, only in New York. Each day it's free admission to those who dream. You set your sights all the way upstream. Off you go, for you know that cream will rise. Rise, new, improved, and rearranged. It's ever-changing and it's never changed. Oh, life on command. Hear what I'm saying? Oh, but it's grand. That's why I'm staying right here as planned. Only in New York. Only in New York. Only in New Thank you. Free and easy, that's my style. How'd it do me? Watch me smile. But fare thee well me after a while, 'cause I gotta roam, and any place I hang my hat is home. Ooh, sweetening water, cherry wine, oh, thank you kindly, suits me fine. Kansas City, even Caroline, that's my honeycomb. And any place I hang my hat is home. But tree. They pick up and go, and the going proves that's how it ought to be. I pick up too when the Spirit moves me. Cross the river round the bend. Howdy, stranger. So long, friend. There's a voice in the lonesome wind that keeps whispering round. I'm going where a welcome mat is, no matter where that is. 'Cause any place I hang my hat is home. Any place I hang my hat is home. Thank you. All right, so while I drink some water, I'm gonna tell you a little, I'm gonna give you a little history lesson. Are you ready? Are you ready? Now, I'm pretty sure most of you know this song, but you may not know who made it a hit first. Aretha Franklin's sister, Irma Franklin. Come on, Black History. Irma Franklin. She was the first to record this song before, well, we all know who recorded it second. I hope you enjoy it. Didn't I make you feel like you were the only man? Yeah, didn't I give you nearly everything that a woman possibly can? Honey, you know I did. But each time I tell myself that I think I've had enough. Oh, but I'm gonna show you, baby, that a woman can be tough. I want you to come on, come on, come on, come on and take it. Take another little piece of my heart now, baby. Ooh, break another little piece of my heart now, darling. Yeah, come on, yeah. Have another little piece of my heart now, baby, baby, baby. 'Cause you know you've got it. Shout if it makes you feel good. Oh, yes, indeed. Oh, you're out on the street looking good. And baby, deep down in your heart, I bet you know that it ain't right. Never, 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 never hear me when I cry at night. And baby, I cry all the time. But each time I tell myself that I can't stand the pain. But when you hold me in your arms, I sing it once again. I need you to come on, come on, come on, come on and take it. Take another little piece of my heart now, baby. Oh, break another little piece of my heart now, darling. Yeah, come on, yeah. Have another Right? Okay, now you know. Irma Franklin. Okay, don't watch me. Watch me, honey, watch me. All right, I'm not trying to. All right. So this next one is one of my favorite ones. And it's from Carmen Jones. I'll tell you why I wanna dance. It ain't the sweetness in the music. I like the sweetness in the music, but that ain't why I wanna dance. Ooh, there's something pumping in the bass, a bumping underneath the music, a bumping under music is all I need to start me off. I don't need nothing else. Well, maybe I do. All right. To start me off, beat out that rhythm on a drum. Beat out that rhythm on a drum. Beat out that rhythm on a drum. And I don't need no tune at all. Beat out that rhythm on a drum. Beat out that rhythm on a drum. Beat out that rhythm on a drum. And I don't need no tune at all. I feel it beating in my bones. It feels like 20 million tom-toms. I know there's 20 million tom-toms beating away down deep inside my bones. Y'all feel the music? I feel it beating in my heart. And then I get a kind of dream. And in that dream it kind of seems there's just one heart in all the world. There ain't but one big heart for all the world. Beat me that rhythm on a drum. Beat me that rhythm on a drum. Beat me that rhythm on a drum. There's one big heart for all the world. Beat me that rhythm on a drum. Beat me that rhythm on a drum. Beat me that rhythm on a drum. There's one big heart for all the world. Oh, and now that heart is beating fast, and that's the rhythm I can dance to. I'm mighty glad I got a chance to, with that one big heart that's beating fast. You know what? Tomorrow morning let it rain. No, tomorrow morning let it pour. Tonight we's in the groove together. Ain't gonna worry about stormy weather. Gonna kick old trouble. Beat out old trouble on a drum. Beat out old trouble on a drum. Beat out old trouble on a drum. And kick his carcass through the door. Beat me that rhythm on a drum. Beat me that rhythm on a drum. Beat me that rhythm on a drum. And kick old trouble out the door. Kick him 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 out the door. Hey! Thank you. Why don't you give my accompanist a hand right now, Mr. Jesse Kissel. Thank you, Jesse. The show's almost over. So, when I was invited to perform here tonight, and I read up on this organization and all of the amazing things This song seemed perfect and truer than ever. No one here to guide you. Now you're on your own. Only me beside you. Still you're not alone. No one is alone. Truly, no one is alone. Sometimes people lead you halfway through the woods. Hi, Mom. Only they deceive you. You decide what's good. You decide alone, but no one is alone. People make mistakes. Fathers, mothers, people make mistakes. Holding to their own, thinking they're alone. Honor their mistakes. Everybody makes one another's terrible mistakes. Witches can be right. Giants can be good. You decide what's right. You decide what's good. Just remember, someone is on your side. Someone else is not. While you're seeing your side, maybe you forgot they are not alone. No one is alone. Hard to see the light now. Just don't let it go. Things will turn out right now. We can make it so. Someone is on your side. No one is Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let me see the world with clouds. Take me to the world, out where I can push through crowds. Take me to the world, a world that smiles with streets instead of aisles, where I can walk for miles with you. Take me to the world that's real. Show me how it's done. Teach me how to laugh, to feel. Move me to the sun. Just hold my hand whenever we arrive. Take me to the world where I can be alive. Let me see the world that smiles. Take me to the world, out where I can walk for miles. Take me to the world with all around things growing in the ground, where birds that make a sound are birds. We shall see the world come true. We shall have the world. I won't be afraid with you. We shall have the world. I'll hold your hand and know I'm not alone. We shall see the world come true. Such a lovely world, it's true. We shall have the world forever, for our own.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Soara-Joye Ross, that was absolutely incredible and beautiful. Let's give it up one more time for Soara-Joye Ross and Jesse Kissel. And we do want to thank you so much for the beauty of your voice and for adding even more to the beauty of this evening and the spirit of the evening and just being here together. I think I speak for all of us by saying that after 2 years of not enjoying live performance, being here and really listening to you sing live in person was really meaningful, so thank you. And before Chuck comes up to give one last update on the fundraising, I just want to say on behalf of Rising Ground, the staff and the volunteers, to thank all of our sponsors, corporate and individual donors, and each of you for making this marvelous evening possible. So give yourselves a round of applause. And here's Chuck.
Sitting there thinking, like, why didn't I wear that dress? I would have been able to accomplish so much more. However, Soara was amazing. Give her another round of applause. Thank you. I love the fact that we have these cookbooks here and they're filled with recipes, but the recipe for changing a life is rising ground. And that recipe can be found in what we're doing here this night with our participation in donation. And I would like to say that we are almost, oh my God, we're so close to where we need to be. We're so close to where we need to be. But I have to say goodnight to you now. But I will say that until tomorrow at 5 p.m., the donation portal is still open. There's a weird sound coming from over there, and I don't know what it is, but quite frankly, that's okay. I think that's someone who is lamenting the fact that we are so close and we did not get to where we need to be. But we shall, because I am confident that those of us who are still here right now can actually make something happen. And if you know somebody who left and, just, there's a proverb, it's a Babylonian proverb that says, when you give, do not check how much you have, just give. Now in New York, we call that a robbery. But in Babylon, that became a proverb. And so what I'm saying is this, of your substance, out of your substance and beyond, please make the effort to get us to where we need to go. And we're very, very close. And the portal is open until 5 p.m. And so I will say goodnight to you, and I will say thank you to all of you who have given. And I will say thanks for being a part of my little telethon. You made me very happy. So God bless you all, and hopefully we will do this again and even bigger and better, okay?
And on behalf of my co-host Chuck and everyone here from Rising Ground, we just want to thank everyone for being here. Before I say goodnight, just one quick reminder, these mugs that are holding the flowers on your table, those are yours to take home, and we hope that you do. And you may have also noticed there are cookbooks on the table. Please take these home as well as another tribute and a thanks from Rising Ground. So get home safe. Thank you again, and hope to see you on the news.